Sup guys, and welcome back for another video. Now, in the past couple of years, I've seen a trend going around on YouTube where people like to share exactly how much money they are actually spending in a week based on their salary and the different things that they are into. And I'll be completely honest with you, I really enjoy watching these videos, and I don't know whether that's just because I'm nosy or whether I'm actually intrigued as to how people manage their money and how they actually spend it. But nonetheless, I took a look at my own channel, and because it's all about personal finance, saving money, making money and investing, I thought why not make my own version based on myself. So that is exactly what I am going to be doing today. All I ask for you guys to do is smash that like button down below, subscribe to the channel if these are the types of videos that you're into, and having said all that, let's jump straight into it. Alright, so what we're going to do is break down exactly what I spend in a week first, and then what I'm actually going to do is move on to some of the apps and monthly subscriptions that I use to run my business and get about with my daily life after. So what I'll do is leave a timestamp in the description down below so you can bounce between the two. But having said all that, let's get into my weekly spending. Okay, so Monday starts off with my weekly food shop, which comes in at anything between £50 to £65, depending on whether I need to go out and get extras for the week, such as cleaning supplies that has possibly ran out. This week's total came to £58.40, and that should have me covered for my basic meals, breakfast, lunch and dinner throughout the rest of the week. After I dropped the food shop at home, I decided to head into the town centre to go and get my haircut. Now, one thing that I usually do when I have to pop in to get a haircut is I normally try my best to get free parking, but the town was extremely busy today and time was of essence. So I didn't decide to go and just look constantly for free parking spaces. I decided just to go ahead and pay the £2 parking fee, because at the end of the day I was going to probably spend more time in petrol costs just looking for a free parking space. So I just paid the £2 and then went and got my haircut. This came to £13, so £15 total, and I think that's pretty good value. After the haircut, I had to go to the post office to drop off 3 eBay parcels from my business. All of these parcels were prepaid in terms of postage, so I didn't have to worry about that. But one thing I did pick up was a bottle of Dr. Pepper, and this cost me £1.59. And that was pretty much my morning done and dusted there. What I proceeded to do then was head home and work on filming and editing videos for the evening, and I had everything at home to keep me covered. Finally, on Monday evening, I headed over to Amazon.com to actually go out and buy some glue spray stuff, because I'd recently ordered some sound panels for my office to improve the sound, obviously. But the one bad thing that I did do with this is I accidentally ordered it to my tenant's property, my old flat in the middle of the city, and I still haven't gone and picked that up yet, so that's something I need to go ahead and do. In terms of the petrol cost for my car, based on the miles per gallon that it does, it comes at around £1.80, leaving me a total spend on Monday of £89.78. Starting off with Tuesday, and I headed straight back to the supermarket because I had actually forgotten the bacon during my weekly shop the day before, and as we all know, bacon is absolutely essential.
No, I want my bacon. I gotta tell you something. Bacon is good for me.
When I was there, I decided to get an extra backup of salad, and I also purchased an 8-pack of Coke Zero fizzy drinks. But anyways, this bill came to £9.75, and then what I did from there was headed back home for the rest of the day, where I would simply just be filming and editing videos. Moving on to the evening time, I did actually decide to pop out once more, because if you didn't already know, the Mirror in the UK, which is a national newspaper, actually featured me on their website for a video I made where I was talking about how I managed to save £20,000 in 1 year, and what I wanted to do was head out and pick up a physical copy of the Mirror for 90p just to see if they'd put me in the newspaper as well. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case, so I ended up heading back home with a newspaper that I'd just paid for that I was never going to read. And then finally, estimated petrol costs came to £2.20, leaving me a total spend on Tuesday of £12.85. So Wednesday started off with no breakfast and a trip into the city centre of Norwich, because I had to go and pick up some monthly contact lenses. Now, this is something that I would normally class as a monthly subscription that I would pay that is essential, and I wasn't going to mention it in this video, but one thing that I've been having to do recently is actually having to go physically into the city to pick these lenses up, because I'm having a little bit of trouble with deliveries to my new address, so that's what I had to go and do. But nonetheless, this came to £30, and this is a cost cost that I don't even think about when I spend it, because being able to see is pretty essential, I would say. One thing I did manage to take full advantage of in the city was popping into Primark of all places to pick up a mega value pack of socks, because all of the socks that I have at home pretty much have large holes in them. This is mainly due to my new puppy called Bobby, if you haven't met him already, who is a lovely dog, but he does have an obsession for my socks, which isn't the best thing. Also, whilst I was in the city, I decided to get lunch on the go, and I went to Boots for this for one reason, simply because I knew I wasn't going to have to pay, because I used my Boots reward points card. So what would have been £3.50's worth of lunch actually came to zero. And then finally, with my trip into the city, parking cost me £3.20 for about 2 hours, which is okay, it's not great. And then the petrol cost to get back and forth to the city from my house was at around £4. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, not the cheapest way of going to pick up some contact lenses, but I do actually like going into the city and making that extra effort for a couple of reasons. Number one, because my main job is filming videos and I'm pretty much stuck in my house all day, so getting out of the house is actually a really good thing. And then number two, I always try and tie my trips into the city with other things, such as going to pick up the socks and then maybe just going for a walk and actually getting some exercise. So I don't mind paying the little bit of extra money to be able to get some extra benefits along with it. And then when I got home, I decided to pop back onto Amazon again and order this cool little card holder thing. One second, if I just do this, it's pretty cool. Simply because I was sick and tired of my wallet. It was ripped to shreds. It was bulky as well, and this little thing here keeps all of your cards, your essential cards, nice and safe in this little wallet. And when I need to bring it out, I just pull this trigger and I look pretty cool doing it as well. This only cost me £9.99 and it's a cool little gadget to have, so I thought I would go and buy it. But once again, I spent the majority of my day back in the office filming and recording videos, and I did have a couple of coaching calls that I attended as well, but that left me with a total spend on Wednesday of £52.19. Now Thursday, I'm not going to lie, I pretty much spent all of my day at home. I was pretty much showered in with different coaching calls. I had so much admin to do on my computer. Once again, I was filming and editing as well, and I actually didn't spend any money. I didn't do any online shopping. I didn't have to go out and buy any extra bits and bobs. Pretty much my spending was £0. There's not really much to say other than that, so let's move on to Friday. And basically Friday started off with me back down the post office posting some more eBay parcels. Like I said, these are all prepaid, so I didn't need to worry about them. And once again, I picked up a bottle of Dr. Pepper for £1.59, and I also picked up another pack of bacon. As you probably worked out, I do love bacon. And the cost of the drink and the bacon combined came to a total of £4.80. And what I decided to do was head home, make some lunch, and actually watch some YouTube. And what I actually came across was this accountability app by Andy Frisella called 72 Hard, which actually cost me £4.99 because I decided to invest into it. However, I did make a little bit of a mistake. Now, I absolutely love Andy Frisella and the concepts that he tries to push, but this app that I decided to invest into is very, very basic, and it's actually something that you can do with just a simple piece of paper for free. Basically what it is just a checklist of things that you need to achieve in a day, and yeah, I felt like I wasted a little bit of money on that. And then finally, when Friday night came about, after doing all of that searching on accountability, realizing that the app was a bit rubbish and all of that, looking at healthy foods and all of that, I decided that Friday night was treat night, and I decided to go and grab a Domino's and Ben and Jerry's ice cream, and the total of this came to £17.20. I mean, it's Friday treat night, right? It's the law, isn't it? But anyways, total fuel cost for the day came at around £2.20 once again, leaving me a total spend of £29.19 for Friday. Now, when Saturday came around, this is still very much a working day for me, but one thing I like to do is be a little bit more relaxed than what I usually am during the week. And the first thing that I actually did was I saw a PlayStation game that I've been looking at buying for months now, and it was actually on sale on the PlayStation Store. Now, this game was called Skater XL, and it was on sale for £26, down from £40. In fact, it was actually even cheaper in game in the middle of the city, but by the time I'd actually driven there, picked it up, driven back, bought it and all of that, probably paid for parking and some food whilst I was in the city, it was going to cost me a lot more to go and get it. So what I decided to do was pay a little bit extra, even though it was still cheap in my opinion, £26, and downloaded it straight directly on my PlayStation, and I had planned to play that later that night. After that, I popped onto moonpig.com to buy a card for a friend who was celebrating an achievement of actually playing for his football team for more than 10 years, and I was unable to make the match, so I thought a card would be a nice kind of gesture to send. The card cost me £4 on Moonpig, and I actually paid for special delivery, which actually cost me a further $3.99, leaving a total cost of that card to be £7.99. Once again, I could have gone to the post office, bought a cheap card, paid for postage, and done it that way, which is the normal way that I guess most people do it. But once again, I would have probably gone to the post office, bought probably some more bacon or a Dr. Pepper or something like that, and the total cost of the trip would have probably cost more. So just going online and doing it through this way probably saved me a little bit of money in the long run. In terms of eating wise, what I pretty much did on Saturday was I looked into the fridge and saw what I had left over and what was going out of date, and make sure that I ate that before it actually did, because it would be horrible to waste food, of course. And then what I actually did in the evening was I popped out and got some more Coke Zeros and a pack of sweets and some little treats for when I went and played on my PlayStation in the evening. This came to a total cost of £6.50. Total fuel cost of the day was £2, leaving me a total spend on Saturday of £42.73. Now bringing me on to Sunday, the final day of the week, and what I did was I found myself carless for the day, meaning I couldn't go out and do anything, which obviously isn't a bad thing if I'm looking to save money. So what I decided to do was take the entire day off working and actually spend the entire day watching Netflix and Now TV, which I'll get into those subscriptions in just a second. But I pretty much did nothing and I spent no money, so my total spending for Sunday is zero. However, I did actually spend some money in the evening, and we're going to get into that right now. And basically what I decided to do was I actually decided to pull the trigger on some things that I've been researching for weeks and months ahead of time, and they were some upgrades to my studio and my YouTube filming equipment. Now, first thing that I did was I bought this microphone, which is absolutely insane, and it's going to improve the audio of my videos tenfold. I'm not actually using it right now, but I will be in the next video. I bought some more equipment and accessories that's going to make filming videos a lot easier for me, and the total cost of all of these, I'm not going to reel them off individually, came to £1,400. Now the reason why I am not including it in my weekly spend is simply because this is all a business expense. This is going to be paid for my company, because one of my businesses is running this YouTube channel and I'm able to write the tax off on these expenses, which is obviously a good benefit of having a business. None of this came from my personal spending money or anything like that, and that is exactly why I haven't included it in my totals. So having completed the week, this brought my total spending of that week outside of my household essential bills to £226.78. And this is what I would very much class as an average week in my life. Obviously, as you've probably noticed, I'm not the most sociable of people, but of course a benefit of that in return is obviously I'm able to save more money. I'm obviously fortunate to not have to travel into work or commute every single day, which is obviously going to save me a lot of money in terms of petrol costs, and then maybe even costs on food whilst I would be at work. Obviously I do not have to pay that, and one thing that I feel that has really benefited me in terms of saving money is definitely the weekly food shops. Now, one thing that I usually do when I get into a bit of a bad habit is I start spending money at the shops that I'm going to, say the post office, and I'll be buying lunch, and whilst I'm doing a food shop at the same time, this doesn't work too well, because number one, I'm spending around an extra £50 a week on extra food, and what I'm doing, because I'm doing that alongside doing a weekly shop anyway, I'm leaving so much food in my fridge that I'm not eating that goes out of date, so it's kind of a double whammy. So it's something that I need to be careful on, but right now, touch wood, things are going okay. All right, let's talk about a couple of the apps that I use on a weekly basis now. Now, of course, I pay for most of these monthly, but what we're going to do is work out what it's going to cost me roughly on a weekly basis. And yeah, first one up is going to be Disney Plus. If you didn't already know, I'm a massive investor into Disney, so got to pay for their service as well. This cost me $7.99 a month, and it works out at about £2 per week. Next up, very similar, is going to be Now TV. Basically, all I do is pay for the entertainment package. For that, it cost me £7 plus a £3 bolt-on, which works out at £2.50 per week. Next up, we have a service called Epidemic Sounds. Now, if you didn't know what Epidemic Sounds is, it's basically a website that allows YouTubers like myself to access thousands of free, non-copyrighted music to put in our YouTube videos. It's a highly recommended service by myself. If you did want to go and check it out, if you are a YouTuber or anybody that wants to use music in some kind of project, then I'll leave a link in the description down below. Basically, it costs £10 a month, that's it, which works out at £2.50 per week. Next up, we have something called Storyblocks, which is similar to Epidemic Sounds, but it's the video form, so non-copyrighted video, stock footage. And basically what I use this for is just to throw different kind of stock footage or B-roll on top of my clips. What I'll do is I'll throw one up now just to show you an example. You've probably seen them in my videos before. This one's a little bit more expensive. It actually works out at £348.96 for the year, which obviously when we break that down into a weekly payment, it's going to be £6.70 per week. But like I said, both of these services pay for themselves more than what they are worth, so I'm happy paying that. And of course, this one is a business expense, but I thought I would just add it in this video anyway. Next up, we've got Amazon Prime. Now, don't really need to do too much explaining to Amazon Prime. £8.99 a month, and it's going to work out at £2.25 per week. Next up, we have Adobe Photoshop. Now, with my thumbnails on my YouTube videos, I use Adobe Photoshop. This has improved my thumbnails massively. This costs just £10 a month, and that works out at £2.50 a week as well. From there, we have more of a leisure kind of thing, and that is my PlayStation Plus membership, and I managed to actually get this on a deal back in January for 15 months, and it cost me £50 for those 15 months, and this works out at £3.33 per week, which I think is good value for the entertainment that I actually get out of it. And from there, we've got my two listening services, what I like to call them. First up, we've got Spotify, obviously music on the go. Listen to this all the time, probably the one service that I use the most out of everyone. This cost me £9.98 per month, which works out at £2.49 per week. And then we have Audible, which is something that I've only just signed up to recently, which also cost me £9.98 per month, which works out at £2.49 per week. I'm more of a listener when it comes to books, and I found that I get more value out of them by listening to them. And if I need to kind of reread or re-listen a chapter, you can just click back 30 seconds, and I just find this better than actually sitting there and reading a book. Plus I can do it on the go as well. So if you did want to go and check out Audible or any of these services, most of them are going to be linked down below if you wanted to go and grab one. So they are basically all of the different apps that I use. I do use a couple extra ones that I haven't mentioned in this video, but that's pretty much because I get them for free, and I didn't want to include them into my weekly cost because of sponsorships and things like that. But nonetheless, total spend on apps per week or services comes to £26.75, and when I combine that with my spending during the week, roughly what my outgoings are every single week are £253.49. Now, I don't think that is too bad. I'm not sure how you interpreted that, but one thing that I like to do is go on the 50-30-20 rule, where you basically put 50% towards your essentials, which I haven't mentioned in this video, but then 30% goes towards your wants, which everything that I've included in this video would be in that category. And based on the salary that I have, 30% of my wants, this comes way below that. So I'm very happy with that. It shows that I'm kind of living below my means, which is obviously good because I'm able to then invest more money into the stock market and the things that I'm interested in. But nonetheless, hope you found this video valuable. Why don't you leave me a comment down below roughly on how much you spend on things per week if you're interested in doing that. But having said all that, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit that like button down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.